Farmers across the country are still panicking over Donald Trump's immigration policies that, of course, are leading to migrant raids by ICE at farms. Which, in and of itself, let's go ahead and take a quick detour before we really get into the heart of this. Trump is telling us, since the beginning, I'm only getting rid of the criminals. I'm getting rid of the horrible people, the worst of the worst. And yet, for some reason, ICE always shows up at job sites. Right? Like, I thought these people were murderers and rapists, but instead you're taking employees. You're taking people that are contributing to the economy, telling us, well, they're all criminals because technically they're in here illegally, which is how they've used their backwards justification on it. But these are not violent people. These are not people over here in gangs. These are people over here doing jobs. And of course, that is what's driving farmers crazy because they're losing their workforces either through the raids or the fear of the raids that has caused many people to just not show up anymore. And it has now caused one Donald Trump ally, a lawmaker, Republican lawmaker from the state of Pennsylvania, where they're seeing tons of these raids, to speak out against the man he has full-heartedly supported over the years. It is U.S. Representative Glenn Thompson, representing the 15th district, of the state of Pennsylvania, came out this past week and said, they need to knock it off. Let's go after the criminals and give us time to put processes in place so we don't disrupt the food supply chain. Now, I love that he mentioned that at the end, because that is something I have been saying for a long time. Some people have accused me of fear-mongering, but it turns out I was 100% correct. And there's more statements about that I'll get to in a moment. But I have said repeatedly, if we continue to do this and there is nobody to pick the food, or there's fewer people to pick the food, it will rot in the fields. We saw it happen, I think, 2012 to 2014 in the state of Georgia. This exact same thing happened. A crackdown on immigration led to a shortage of farm workers, which led to crops rotting in the fields, which then led to a shortage in the state. And they panicked and brought all the workers back. But that's what we could be looking at nationwide, an actual nationwide food shortage. And that is what this Republican representative is reiterating. If you guys keep doing this, if you keep showing up at farms and snatching these workers away and deporting them to God knows where, we're not going to have any food. That is a statement, by the way, reiterated by Pennsylvania Farm Bureau President Chris Hoffman, who said, this move could have devastating consequences for our nation's food security. Without a stable, dependable workforce, our fields will go unplanted, our crops unharvested, and our livestock uncared for. The dedicated men and women who work on our farms alongside our farmers are not just employees, they are the bedrock of our food supply chain. Any disruption to their ability to work threatens the availability and affordability of food for every American family. Again, that was a statement from Pennsylvania Farm Bureau President Chris Hoffman. Then, of course, you had Bailey Fisher, who is with one of the farming organizations, who said agriculture and the workforce is not something where you can just hire a new person every week. It takes a while to train that person, especially if they're working with livestock. So it's not just a matter of finding just somebody to milk your cow. It takes experience. It takes somebody who's comfortable doing it, knowing the animal, knowing what the animal needs. And then when asked about, well, why not hire domestic workers? Fisher said, quote, we've tried that. Trust me, we have tried every possible solution you could think of, and the domestic workforce is just not there in the agriculture industry. A lot of Americans, they prefer the office job over getting up at 4 a.m. to go milk a dairy cow or being out in the hot summer heat picking lettuce, harvesting lettuce or fruit, etc. But Glenn Thompson, the representative from Pennsylvania's 15th congressional district, who again supported Trump from the beginning, even he is out there saying, knock it off. We're running out of people, and if we run out of people, we run out of food. That is how dire this situation is. And think back about a week and a half ago, right? Donald Trump flip-flopped and then flip-flopped again on the issue. He said, listen, I'm going to tell ICE not to do raids at farms or hotels or places like that hire a lot of undocumented people. And then he was like, nah, you know what? Go ahead and do it. It took less than a day before those raids restarted. We're in a dire situation now, folks. Dire. The Farm Bureau is warning about it. The representatives are warning about it. Trump's allies are warning about it. They know how devastating this already is because they're seeing it firsthand. So, is Trump going to stop? Is he going to flip-flop off the flip-flop of the flip-flop? Probably not. So just get ready, because those exorbitantly high prices for anything that comes from a farm are about to hit every consumer in this country. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.